Alrighty guys, so this is the follow-up video for the Q&A. I'm very excited to do this. Happy 500 subscribers, everybody. So, let's answer your questions, guys. I'm excited. I hope I pointed that in the right direction. Okay, so we're going to start with the first question I see and just work our way down to the lowest. If you guys didn't answer, that's fine. I'm going to do one later, depending on when I get 1,000. That's just a heads up, but that probably won't be for a while, though. So anyway, let's start with the top one. Kings Island or Kings Dominion? To be honest, they're very close. Like, I really love both parks. It's almost hard because quantity-wise, you have King's Dominion, but then quality-wise is King's Island. I also like the operations more at King's Island, so I'm going to give it to King's Island. But they're King's Island is better just by, this much. It is not, hardly a difference. Okay, Coaster Guy says, what is your favorite roller coaster? Intimidator 305, hands down. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not. Best B&M hyper in the world. I'm just going to say the one that best B&M hyper that I've been on, because I am not good with doing anything in the world since I haven't been on all of them. I'm going to go with Diamondback. Most airtime filled, so I really enjoy that. How many new parks do you plan on visiting in 2016? Okay, so there's two right off the bat. Or there's two main trips. The biggest one right now is the one to Germany. I'll be going to Germany sometime in 2016, sometime in the summer. So I'll be able to visit Europa Park and Heidi Park, Holiday Park, possibly Heidi Park, depending on if we can get there. Because it's really far north, depending on Holiday Park and Europa Park. Also, I'll be visiting Dollywood during spring break, or hopefully for my birthday. So hopefully I'll be able to get to go to Dollywood for 2016. Also, I might be able to go. I'm going to try to dedicate next year to Six Flags a lot. I'm going to try to go to Six Flags Great Adventure next year once again, and then try to do like Six Flags New England and Six Flags Great America, maybe Great Escape. But that might be too far north. But I'm going to try to dedicate Six Flags, and I definitely want to go back to Cedar Point too. So there's a lot of possibilities, but the main two is just the German parks and Dollywood. Age. I am 15 years old, and I'll be turning 16 March 26th. Oh, I've already forgotten it. Jeez. What is your reaction to One Direction breaking up? I'm not into One Direction, so I wouldn't know. Skyrush versus Diamondback. Skyrush. Hands down, a Skyrush. It's my favorite hypercoaster I've ever been on. What are you most excited for at Hershey Park? Skyrush. I've already been to Hershey Park, but when I was in the vlog, the question was, what am I most excited for? I was most excited for the Woodies and Skyrush. Oh, and Storm Runner. Alright. What got you into coasters? I'm just going to kind of break it down because I'm going to just start the storyline and bring it up to today because it's easier for me to explain it. So my first coaster I've ever ridden was Robiel back in 2005 when I was 5 years old. Then later on, back then I was really, I would do a lot of hype thrill-based stuff. But then, as I got older, I just started getting more phobias of thrills and heights. Then, 2010, I rode Ghost of Coaster, which is what got me back into coasters. I also started watching In the Loop stuff by, I watched the Intimidator 305 constructions, and then I just started watching Coaster Force POVs. I started watching a lot of those, mainly just the Kings Dominion ones, but then eventually I started getting into more. So that's a shout out to Coaster Force if they ever see this, which I highly doubt, but... Then later on, I finally decided to get into Woodies. I rode Robiel 2011, and that's what got me into coasters, Woodies anyway. I started riding them, and in 2013 came along, we went to Hershey Park, and I rode my first ever looping coaster, which was the Super Duper Looper, and it's still one of my favorite coasters to this day. First favorite family coasters anyway. So after riding Super Duper Looper, I came back down to Kings Dominion to ride the coasters. And once I rode Volcano of the Blast coaster, I was hooked on thrills for the rest of my life. So I just started riding coaster after coaster after coaster. I went to Busch Gardens, all that other stuff. And then Intimidator 305 had been broken down that entire year. This is 2013, by the way. And then finally, October 26, 2013 was the day that I got to ride Intimidator 305 at 9 p.m. at night, 5th row, left side. I still remember it. It's still the reason. It's just, oh my gosh. It was so much fun. And it's still the reason why I love Intimidator 35. But even now, it still gives me some of the best rides I've ever been on. Top Thrill Dragster or Kingda Ka? To be honest, Kingda Ka. Kingda Ka was thrilling for a lot longer than Dragster. Although Dragster has nice lap bars and it's smoother. But I do like the fact that Kingda Ka is faster, and I might be, it just might be me, but I felt like I can notice that extra airtime hill, and I missed that. I missed that extra airtime hill, so I was disappointed that Dragster didn't have it. But Dragster is really close to being Kingda Ka. What coasters do you want to be RMC'd the most? Definitely, without a doubt, the Hurler at King's Dominion. It will never happen, but I really want it to be RMC'd. Can you give me a shout out? Shout out to you, Coaster Database, who loves my channel a lot. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you're having a wonderful time, having the time of your life. Thank you for being a coaster fanatic. That's a shout out to you, and shout out to everybody else that decided to do a question in this Q&A. Thank you so much for supporting me and everything, and hopefully I've been making great videos, hopefully. Have I asked too many questions, says Coaster Database? No, you have not. To be honest, I'm glad you're asking a lot of questions. Alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird do you think I am? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think you're weird at all, to be honest. Maybe a 2, a 3. You're not weird. Am I honest? You're not weird at all. I feel like I'm weird, so so it's kind of weird to say that. Because I'm weirder than you think you're weirder than, to be honest, you're fine. Alright, Gerstlauer and SNS. I've ridden one Gerstlauer, and I think it's a Gerstlauer. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I think that's Gerstlauer, and it was alright, to be honest. Nothing special, though, to be very, very honest. But I'm going to go with SNS. But I have not been on an SNS coaster just yet. Alright, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Jeb Bush, or D's Nuts? Neither. I'm not a political person. But if I really had to, maybe Donald Trump. I know him more. Do you think Lightning Rod would be the best wooden coaster in the world? To be honest, no. I really don't see it being the best. I know definitely, I don't think I do see it being better than, like, the Voyage, El Toro, maybe Boulder Dash. I see it being maybe in the top 5, but, like, Outlaw Run, I see those being a lot better, but who knows, we'll have to see when we ride it, but to be honest, I really don't see it being the best, but I do see it being in the top 10. Will you ever visit Six Flags Great America? Like I said earlier, that's a huge possibility for 2016. Hopefully I do. I'd love to go to Six Flags Great America. It looks like a great park, so hopefully I'll be able to ride it. Or, hopefully I'll be able to go to it. English. Six Flags Great Adventure, Hershey Park. Easily Great Adventure. Great Adventure is one of the best amusement parks in the world. It is phenomenal. Favorite coaster, Intimidator 305. Favorite YouTuber. It is a tie right now between Smosh Games and Coaster Studios. Yes, Coaster Studios is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's one of the best. And Smosh Games is just really good. I used to like Smosh, and then I saw Smosh Games, and they're very fun. I like watching their game bangs and Grand Theft Smosh. You should go check them out. Alright, do you have any plans to visit Darien Lake, Seabreeze, or Martin's Fantasy Island? I don't know Seabreeze or Martin's Fantasy Island, but I'll look those up. Darien Lake is a possibility. If I ever go to New York, I'll make sure to hit the 3 big New York parks, which is Coney Island, Darien Lake, and Six Flags Great Escape. What is your favorite amusement park? Hands down, Cedar Point. Lee's favorite manufacturer? Den Corporation. I just really, They don't do really good rides, no offense, Den. Your favorite non-coaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. It is easily, without a doubt, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It's right now my favorite dark ride I've ever been on. Favorite non-B&M coaster outside of the U.S. It's almost a tie, but I think I have to give it to Formula Rossa. Formula Rossa is really, really good. In fact, I think it's phenomenal. Nemesis or Nemesis Inferno? I think I might have to go with Nemesis Inferno. Either that. No, Nemesis. My bad. Nemesis is really good. What is your biggest letdown on a roller coaster? And will you update your top 10 you've ever ridden? I will update my top 10. Sometime in mid-September, I will be updating my top 10 wood and steel amusement parks. What was my biggest letdown on a roller coaster? I'm just going to say what coaster was the biggest letdown to me. It would be easier. And Nighthawk. Nighthawk was the biggest letdown. I thought it'd be very fun, like all the Flying Dutchmans, and no, it was not. It was painful. I almost consider it as bad as an SLC, to be honest. Sorry for all the questions, says Quan Narula. No problem. No problem. I liked all these questions. Favorite inversion type? Zero Giro. Gravity group, GCI or CCI? I've not been on a gravity group, so I'm just going to go with either GCI or CCI. GCI. RMC or B&M? It's pretty tough, but I'm going to give it to RMC. Gerstlauer or Mack Rides? Mack Rides. Number one international coaster that you want to ride? Formula Rossa. Number one international park you want to visit? Ferrari World. Oh, it's tied with Ferrari World and Europa Park. Disney or Universal? Obviously Universal. Disney's just too expensive. Favorite coaster model? Excluding the Gigas, Stratas, and Hypers, I would have to go with the Flying Coaster. Flying Coasters are really good. And Blitz Coaster. Blitz Coasters. I totally forgot. It's been Blitz Coasters. The best. Alright, least favorite coaster you've ridden. Kiddie coasters don't count. Agreed. Least favorite coaster I've ever ridden is the Bat at Lagoon Park. It is a Vekoma family coaster, family inverting coaster. Very rough. Six Flags Great Adventure at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's pretty close because there's some stuff that other parks have better, but I'm going to give it to Great Adventure. Would you rather have to ride Mindy Racer at Six Flags America for 1 hour, no breaks, or the Great Pumpkin Coaster for 6 hours and no breaks? I'd have to go with the Mindy Racer for 1 hour at Six Flags America. It's okay. It is shaky, but the good news is if your head does hit the pads are very soft, so it feels like you're hitting a cloud. And the Great Pumpkin Coaster just sucks. B&M Flying Coaster or Vekoma Flying Dutchman? I think of B&M Flyers. B&M overall did better with the flying models than Vekoma. Although Vekoma did pretty well with the Flying Dutchmans. Flying or wing coasters? Flying coasters. Hey, you hit 500. Congrats. Thank you. Favorite song / music? I like any type of variety of music. Doesn't really matter what type of music it is. Favorite song would have to be Renegade by the Ambassadors. I really like them. Would you rather ride the Great Pumpkin Coaster for 5 hours straight with a giant bunny stuffed animal next to you, or lose out on Intimidator 305 for 4 visits straight to King's Dominion? So technically that almost happened. My first time riding Intimidator 305 this year would have to be June 13th. And I had been to the park twice before that, so it was so I almost did. I did halfway through, and I don't have to go with the lose out on Intimidator 305 for 4 visits straight. I could probably do it if I do the visits very soon. And here's the thing, I go to King's Dominion very often, so it would probably be very easy. What are your other interests? I like sports. I just like doing. I like just doing lots of sports. I like doing just stuff that makes me happy. I like just vacationing out, having fun. I love being in the marching band too. I'm a trombonist, so I really love playing the trombone. So music is definitely another interest for me, and that in sports. Millennium Force or Fury? In my Giga Coasters, I put Millennium Force ahead, but for me, I think Fury is actually better. Are you heading to Six Flags Magic Mountain in 2016? That is a possibility, depending on when I go out to California. I have family in California, so it would definitely be a big possibility for me to go out to California. And if I do go out to California, it won't just be Magic Mountain. It'll be Magic Mountain, Knott's Berry Farm, Discovery Kingdom, Great America, possibly Gilroy Gardens. I know that's not a great park, but I would go there anyway. What is my least favorite coaster and park? My least favorite coaster I just said was Bat at Lagoon Park, and my least favorite park would have to be a park that I haven't been to since 2008, and that's SeaWorld Orlando. Excluding that, then it would be Universal Studios Florida. Thoughts on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket? It's okay, not great. I like it better than, I almost like it, I mean, I like the airtime, but I definitely like Revenge of the Mummy a lot better. How many parks have you been to? Also, what is your top 3 favorite parks? I've been to 13 parks, and my top 3 is, it goes Busch Gardens, Williamsburg at number 3, Six Flags Great Adventure number 2, and Cedar Point at number 1. What do you think of Banshee? Happy 500. Thank you. Banshee's right now my favorite B&M invert. I wish more B&M inverts were like Banshee. I like, because the drop is steeper. I think the pre-drop isn't as good as on the B&M inverts as some of the others, but I wish some of the other B&M coasters, and I wish some of the B&M invert coasters would have Banshee's restraints, like especially Alpengeist. Alpengeist could be one of the best B&M inverts out there if it had those restraints. Best B&M wing coaster in the U.S. I'm going to say Gatekeeper. It's a tie between Gatekeeper and Thunderbird, but I'm going to give it to Gatekeeper. Do you prefer B&M or Intamin? It's hands down Intamin. I love how they can do so much elements in just a compact ride, so I have to give it to Intamin. Fury 325 or Intimidator 305? I'm an Intamin lover, and I love intense coasters, so I have to go with Intimidator 305. It's a close one because Fury's a really good ride. B&M did a phenomenal job. What's my top 3 favorite roller coasters? So number 1 is Intimidator 305, Fury 325 is number 2, and then Maverick is number 3. Six Flags or Cedar Fair? It's very close, but I gotta give it to Cedar Fair. If Cedar Fair began to work with RMC, which coaster would you want to get Iron Horse the most? Now, this is probably going to be impossible, but if somehow, some way, RMC and Cedar Fair decide to come united, I bet you they're going to first do the Mighty Canadian Mine Buses, since they'll probably test it out and give one to Canada's Wonderland. And then after that, they'll probably want to do one at their flagship park, Mean Streak. And then I would love to see the Hurler Kings meeting, but I highly doubt it. What do you think of Fury 325? It's a phenomenal ride. It is amazing. What is your least favorite coaster? I've already said it, but I'll say it one more time. The Bat at Lagoon Park. Have you played the original Roller Coaster Tycoon? I have not, but I do have Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and I play that very often. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. What are your top 10 roller coasters at Hershey Park? Okay, I gotta see. It goes Trailblazer at number 10. Number 9 is Laugh Track. Number 8, Super Duper Looper. Number 7, Comets. Number 6, Wildcat. Number 5, Great Bear. Number 4, Fahrenheit. Number 3, Storm Runner. Number 2, Lightning Racer. And number 1, Sky Rush. Happy 500 subscribers. Thank you so much. So thank you guys. That is all the questions. That is literally, I just answered every single question. Thank you all for watching. This is a pretty long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Thank you all for watching, and as always, Coaster Fanatics, keep coasting.